Okay, we are live.
All right. Good morning. Good morning.
Or afternoon or evening, as it might be.
I hope everybody's having a good day.
I think I am having a good day. We're going to have playtime today, which for me is definitely playtime. We're going to be doing collage on artist trading cards. This is our last in this series of artist trading cards for the month of June because it was ATC a Day 2019, all June, and we made artist cards every single day.
We did.
Pretty much.
We did. Well, we got a few days left anyway, right?
Welcome, Peggy. Looks like we've got Peggy and Janice. People are starting to roll in. So on my desk, I just have a bunch of stuff everywhere. I just surrounded myself by buckets and boxes and pieces and parts and just, stuff that I'm going to use to collage today. What do you have, Peg?
Yeah, I brought out some watercolor. I missed last week. I wanted to do watercolor, so I brought out some watercolor today. So in my collage work, I'm going to add some watercolor today. I have some new stencils here from Stencil Girl. This is one of those ATC stencils that I ended up cutting up into pieces. And I thought I wanted to try it out. I've got some dimensional texture paste. I've got a bunch of papers and things. So we're just going to play. We're just going to have a good time. And I know you can't see anything because it's white on white, so I apologize.
Kathleen has joined us. Hello, Kathleen. I just have this bag of all the rest of the ATCs that haven't been finished or have backgrounds on them. Or I did find one of these when I was looking through stuff. These ones made out of vinyl that Shannon Green sells. She recycles the vinyl billboards and makes them into really awesome stuff. Everything from like journals and things that you can put your own paper in to things that you can put pens and pencils, and she even has some bags now. And she also sells these Atc blanks, which can be painted or collaged or whatever. So I found one of those just randomly in my pile, but I'm just going to use what is already cut.
I know she doesn't have any of the ATCs up on her site right now, but if you message her, she will send you that size if you're interested in it.
Yeah, she would just cut them out of scrap. So
yeah, so I mean, she's got a lot of scrap stuff, and you can buy scrap from her.
Yep,
she'll sell you scrap stuff that you can cut in whatever size you want. So
welcome, Ruth and Sybil. Peggy says desk. Are you supposed to be able to see that? If you guys could see my studio right now, the desk, the floor, nothing's been put away. Everything is everywhere. It's like a tornado hit in here, and I frankly don't have the energy or the time to clean it up. So yeah, I'm going to start, I think, with this one lonely vinyl ATC. What are you going to start with?
Well, I've already kind of begun. I took some gesso, this is some DecoArt Media gesso white, and I'm putting it through this new stencil because I want to get that dry before I start dropping anything on here. So you can see I've got just that gesso image in the background there. So that's card number 1 that's going to be developing here. Might as well finish out my week, right?
My week is finished. I've made the last 3 days already.
Well, I have enough made, but I thought I'd, do something different that I haven't been doing. Because, you guys have seen all the alcohol ink ones that I've been doing. So I want to play with watercolor today. Just thought I would do that.
Seems like a good plan since you went visiting last week.
Embossing paste from Wendy Vicky. I want to play with that one too. So let me get another stencil. This is another one of those little flower ones out of that 9-pack set. There we go. Isn't that cute?
That's really cute.
So I really like all of these in this particular stencil. And get some more. This is just Strathmore watercolor paper, because I wanted something relatively absorbent since I'm going to be using watercolor on here. And I am going to use that Wendy Vecchi embossing paste this time. And these are small enough that I'm not even going to worry about sticking them down with adhesive. Normally, you know, I would put some tape or something on this to hold it in place, but I'm going to live on the dangerous side today. And I'm just going to hold it with my fingers.
Well, I started gluing some paper to my vinyl here. I've got a light situation. I need to move stuff around. all the bins and boxes on my desk are blocking the light. So I just started with a scrap of map. I had this idea. I was walking by my desk of places where I trim paper, and you know, we always have these sort of things. When you trim paper, you end up with all these little rectangles, right? Scraps left over.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought I would use those to collage a city.
Oh, fun.
Because cityscapes have a lot of rectangles, right?
They do.
So just, you know, look around to see what you got. See what sort of mess you've made and what you can make out of it.
Yeah.
So I thought for a cityscape, having a map in the background would be cool. Not need to put anything down at the bottom because I'm going to cover it up with buildings. That was my plan. So I just have all these pieces and, you know, just stuff. I have stuff everywhere.
We got stuff.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
This one might be one of those reflective buildings, maybe. Some of these are heavyweight papers. This particular one is a postcard of some sort that's been cut up for some reason. I don't know why.
Just because.
Just because. So it's going to need some serious gluing down. I've got scraps of text. I got all kinds of cool stuff here. And these were just literally on the table where I cut paper.
Yep.
With a guillotine cutter, you know, and then the little scraps, all the little extras are leftovers. Just being there. So, let's see who else has joined us. Hi, Terry. Hi, Marie. I think I've already said hi to everyone else so far. I'm glad you've joined us to come and play with us today. I hope you guys are playing along because this is fun stuff.
I don't know. I have seen so many awesome creations in this last month. You know, part of what we like about having the Facebook groups and Instagram and all of that is seeing what everybody else is doing. And so, you know, if you're not part of the community, join the community, post your stuff so that we can see what you're doing, because, you know, we enjoy that too. That's part of what we do here. Why we create, why we like what we do with you guys.
Not called joy of sharing for no reason.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you know, don't worry. I hear people worrying about, oh well, my stuff's not the same, or my stuff's not as good, or my stuff is, you know, whatever. Don't worry about that. It is a non-judgment zone over at Art Joy of Sharing. We just want to see what you're doing. We want to.
Right. We don't, you know, we've got all different levels of skill. And part of the joy of it is because there are so many different skill levels. If you're having trouble with something, somebody can help you there. That's part of being community.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
you know, you can get the help that you need with something that you might be struggling with. And we do have a mentorship program. So, you know, if you want to be a mentor to somebody else who's having difficulty, or, you know, you have a particular skill, you can join that way. Or if you feel like you need some help from somebody, you know, there's that option too. So, you know, we have different ways of being part of the community.
What a mess. By the end of this, I'm going to have glue all over me. Like you should.
So I'm just dropping in some color on this. And I'll probably add a few other embellishments, you know. While I'm waiting for my other pieces to dry. I have, I was, you want to talk about embellishments. Oh my gosh, I was, we have these jars that my friends call Yetis, because they're little pop top things from the dollar store. And I was trying to sort out some of the, you know, all of the stuff that we have. I was trying to sort out some of that stuff into the jars. I found some cute stuff that I'd forgotten I had. You know how it is. It's all there. We just have to drag it out.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. I just need to spend so many hours just going through all the stuff and sorting it into some type of a situation where I can find what I need when I need it.
Yeah.
It needs to be done.
It do
Is
help.
it going to be done? Not sure.
Well, we have good intentions, right?
Yes, definitely. That's pretty cool. Someday I'll get to it.
Yeah.
Someday.
I know. I was kidded with the kids, my kids, about surely it must be related to Pa Kettle. You know. Gonna get around to that one of these days.
Yeah. I think it's something that I need to do with a friend. And my best friend who usually comes and helps me with big projects, hasn't come for quite a while. She says she's going to come in July. So
cool.
maybe she'll sit and talk to me while I go through stuff, you know? It's just easier that way.
Yeah, it is easier that way. All right, I'm going to let that dry and find something for it. These are still drying. Let's see. What do I want to do next? Sybil says when she cleans up her messes, she can't find anything. Yeah, that happens too. Yeah. Good morning, Terry. Hi, Ruth. Yeah. Cleaning and, you know, something about having all these supplies, you really have to have a plan, I think, or it just takes over. At least on me, it takes over. All right, I should be doing some background stuff. Let me get a new card while that stuff's drying. Why do I? Oh, because you were using paste on here, silly girl. I'm saying, why is my desk already dirty? I know why it's already dirty, because I had paste out. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I'll give you guys a heads up if you are in Art Joy of Sharing, because we're coming into another real busy month. We're going to be talking about color next month. And if you noticed this morning, because I didn't do it right, I was going to schedule it and it didn't get scheduled. I did post the July mood board. So if you want to get started on something early, it's out there. And only you guys that are really quick on the draw or are watching us know that. So there you go. Let's see. I've got, I think I'm going to use those. What else do I want to use? I think I want to use some medium. And what have I got here? A bill that can be used underneath this. I want to use some collage papers. So let me get my, oh dear, I need to wash that. Put that in the water and get a different one. Here we go. All right. I have some Butterwick patterns, which make great collage paper. So I'm just going to take a piece of this pattern. I was down at our, I don't know if you guys have them or not, but sometimes they're like recycled art stores. If you guys have any in your area, you might want to check them out. We have a Create Exchange store here, and I walked in there the other day and they had a whole cabinet of dress patterns that were free. I said, oh, I better take a couple home.
Those are awesome.
So they came home with me. So I'm going to use one in my background here. I've just got a little gel medium. And I'm going to put that down. Yeah, when you're looking for something that's a little bit antique-y looking, or, I like the fact that it's got the marks. This has the arrow and the lines and just has some interesting marks on it. So it's a nice collage layer. And it was $0.00. So I like that type of ephemera.
Yes. That's the best kind.
You betcha.
Sybil says, July mood board. I'm still working on May's.
Well, you can probably just spend a day and do them all at once, huh?
That's true.
I've done that before, where I just spend the day making stuff. Yeah, I'm thinking for this one, I might want to make it a little, we've got July. I've got July on the brain right now, and I'm thinking I need to do something a little bit, July, patriotic, stars and stripes, right? I know the animals don't always appreciate Stars and Stripes because they always have all that fireworks and stuff going on.
Yeah,
I'm
they
not a
don't.
real fan of the fireworks. They're pretty. I don't mind the stuff that shot up in the sky. I do mind the neighborhood people that are out there at midnight throwing firecrackers.
Yeah.
I just think that's a little overboard. And I don't mind if this gets a little bit wrinkly, rumply. I think that just adds to it. I like the texture on my cards too. Tissue is kind of good for that.
I think I'm fairly happy with my composition now. I have to get this thing dry and it looks like buildings. It looks like a city.
Yay. That's what
But I'm
you
going to
were
want
going
to
for,
add
right?
some details.
It's always good if it looks like what you were trying to get.
Yes. You just need to add details, so I'm going to dry it up. Let's see what people are saying. Terry says tomorrow is her makeup day and she can't wait. Sounds like she's going to sit down and play all day.
That's good. That's good. We need play days. I need play days. All right. So let's see. What else do I want to work on?
Don't come popping back up when I hit you. That's not cool.
I wanted to do some embossing too. So, let me get a stamp.
So I was using matte medium, of course, because it's what I like, my gel matte medium. And it matted down the color of my metallic copper. That is not cool. How dare you become less metallic? Hi, Ela. I don't know where she went. All right, so let's get some shading on this, peoples. It's got to be done. Got my Faber-Castell Artist Pick Pen set, and I'm going to do it with that and a doohickey and bobber. Yeah, I'm going to use a doohickey and bobber.
Yeah.
Can't stop me.
Sounds like
Can't stop me, man. Just can't stop me. Like this doohickey and bobber. All right, what do I want? I think I want to add some blue to the top just to kind of give, you know, the skyline a little bit of oomph. So I'm just going to put a little bit of, this is India ink in a pen, so I like it. I like it like that. It becomes permanent when it's dry. But it gives me a few seconds to blend it. And you can blend it with your finger, but I tend to go for the water brush because it just makes me happy.
Well, whatever makes you happy.
So just because collage means to glue stuff to stuff doesn't mean that you don't go back in and add to it with paint or pens if you like to do that. And I do. I think it looks much more finished when I do that. So there's a little bit of blue to the sky. I like it. And then I'm probably going to use a gray or a taupe to do some shadows around the buildings. So let's go with, this one is warm gray 4. Let's try that, see how it goes.
Hi, Ela. Glad you could make it.
It's not morning for her.
Nope, it's not.
Not morning.
It definitely is not.
Nope. So that just makes such a huge difference when you add that shadow to your collage. It just really does. Doesn't have to be harsh lines. It can be blended lines, or if you want, it can be harsh lines. You can choose.
You sure can.
Of course, I'm known for wanting to illustrate everything. So sometimes I make harsh lines because I like to illustrate stuff.
Nothing wrong with illustration.
Can't stop me. Why are you wanting to give me an update right now?
Because
No.
you're busy, that's why.
Snooze, you stupid thing. Oh my gosh.
6
Middle
o'clock
of a light show.
says.
So annoying. Looks like you've got some kind of antique-y stuff going on over there.
Well, I'm just pulling out some papers and things. I think, you know, I'm doing a variety of stuff. You know how I am. I can't just do one thing. I've got stuff drying, and I don't always like to use the heat tool. Sometimes I just like to work between different layers of things. So, you know, when you've got stuff out like these small cards, it doesn't take much to start doing some layering up.
I think I'm going to need to do the edges with the ink pad. Where is my watering can color? There it is. Out of this. And then I'm probably going to get a fine pen and do a little bit of illustration.
I think I want to do some stamping here. Ooh. Some of these acrylics are hard to get off of the plastic.
Let's see.
Let's see, I think I'm going to do...
I bought a set of fine liners, illustration pens that are gray finally.
Yeah.
And it makes me laugh, the brand. The brand is called Pen. Except for it's pen like straight pen instead of pen like drawing pen.
Huh, interesting.
But there's 2 sizes, an 01 and 05, of a light gray, a medium gray, and a dark gray. So, and they're permanent.
Uh-huh.
I like them. I think they're pretty cool.
So I'm just looking through ephemera here, and I got that dress thing going on. I think I might use that. Pull out a few other pieces that I think are going to work with that, because we're doing collage.
Yeah, we're doing collage. Oh, this is not good. Oh dear.
That might work on
Apparently
there.
we're not dry. Don't want to ruin my new pins.
So I'm liking the dressmaking thing on that. Yeah. Tear those up and use them. You know, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just shifting through things to see, you know, what do I have here in the way of ephemera that is going to work with this. Here's a ticket that I like. Here's a, don't know if I want that. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's kind of cool. Might do something with that. What else do we have? Got a ruler. Got a, oh, here, nest and eggs. That works with the bird. What else do we have here? Oh, perfect. These are tiny little butterflies. Tiny little flower pieces. I'm liking these. Tiny little photographs.
If you're doing ATCs, tiny is good.
Yep. It is, it is. So I'm just shifting through things, looking to see what I can pull out that I think might work with some of this. And then I'm going to grab, now I want some embossing powder. So I'm going to grab this tray and I want to figure out what color I want to use. This is one I haven't used much. What is this? I want something a little bit darker than that, I think. This one is black cherry. That might be nice. This one is onyx frost. Ooh, interesting colors here. I might use that one. That one is a champagne. Ooh, that's a nice deep blue. What is that one? Deep sea. Okay. All right. Well, I got a few pulled out here. Let me see what way I want to go with this. I think for this one, I might try the black cherry because it'll be in contrast to the colors I've got on this card. So let me scoot some of this other stuff aside. And because I'll be gluing this stuff on top later. And I want to stamp this in some kind of pigment wet ink that's going to stay wet for a little bit. So what do I have here? I have just pull them all down.
Are you spilling things?
I am. All right, I guess I'll just go with Versamark because I'm knocking everything else over.
Well, Versamark's a good choice.
Yeah. Should work just fine. And it will be a nice surface to put that, what did I say, black cherry on. There we go. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, and you know why they call it black cherry?
Because it's black and cherry.
Because it smells like black cherries.
Oh, so it's not the color, it's the smell.
Oh, yeah, it's wonderful. Mmm, yum. Makes me hungry.
I was already hungry. Now you're making me more hungry.
Well, that's the, you know, now if you're sensitive to smells, you need to know this about the aroma ones, because that's what this is. It says right on the top of it that it's an aroma embossing color. And not
Hi,
everybody's going to
Marie.
like all of
Hi,
that.
Vicki. Hi, Beck. When that happened, both Beck and Vicki said, "Craft-a-lanch." Totally happened.
Okay, so I got to heat up my gun a little bit.
Hi, Barbara. People are still rolling in. Rolling, rolling, rolling.
So yeah, it didn't have it. I thought because it was black cherry that would have some tone of red in it.
You would
And
think.
it really did not. It was black and just smelled like black cherry. So that was interesting.
That is.
Yep. Missed a spot. There we go. So yeah, it's black and shiny and not what I thought it would be at all. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like a dark purple or something.
Yeah, you know, like regular black cherry where it's got the red tones in it, like a dark red.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I think I'm done with this one.
All right, what did I do with my
I like it.
pad that after I knocked everything else on the floor?
I had to add a sunshine. Because it's summer.
All right, maybe I can't emboss anything else because I can't find my pad now. Oh, there it is. See, I already have too much stuff on my desk. Can you tell?
I have so much stuff on my desk, you would not even believe it. Because that's the way, I like it. I think I'm going to start a new card. What have I got? What have I got? Maybe just blank.
Hi, Barb. Hi, Beck. Hi, Vicki Ross. Hey, I'm glad you guys are rolling in here. Okay, so we learned something new about aroma. Wonder about this baked texture then. I wonder how, if it's really as textural. What do you think? Is it really textural?
I'm guessing it is.
So I should do, let me take a piece of this stuff and see what it does. And where's my Versamark? Versamark.
So this is a piece of tissue paper that has been stamped with permanent ink. And I think that this probably was a hand, well, I know that it was a hand carved stamp. Probably hand carved by the person who sent me this. So I'm going to use that as my background. Making sure I got all the bubbles out. This is going to be a good start. I use the napkin stuff for that, napkin glue.
Yeah, so this stuff really does have chunks in it, which is why they're calling it baked texture, I guess.
That's the stuff after design stuff.
Yeah, it says altered page on it, so that's Seth.
Yeah.
And this one is Deep Sea. And then that was the Black Cherry Aroma one. So, I mean, there's differences to their powders if you're, you know, and then they've got like the classic powders. I was going to use some champagne on something. So we'll see what what the differences are, because there are
These
differences.
are all in Roll Creek, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Let's try if I heard you say that or not.
So that is the Deep Sea. It's almost a green blue. Nice color. So I've got this. I don't know if I want to put that on there, if I want to start something new. I should glue some of this stuff down, right? I should glue some of this down because this is partially dry now.
This is a collage show. You are supposed to glue stuff.
Yeah. I do a lot of gluing. Hey, Peggy says she found her stuff. Yay.
That's good. Must have been buried in a Craftalanche.
Yeah. It's easy to lose stuff, I'll tell you.
That's for sure.
Oh, you know what? I've got those things I made the other day I should use on here. I don't know if you guys saw me. I got that surprise box from, or mystery box, I guess it's called, from Ranger Industry, just to see what it was like. You know, I wanted to see what was in it. And so I got a bunch of different products and stuff, and I should use some of those sprays that were in there because they had, let me use some of those on here. Oh, I know what I can use them on. I can use them on the ones that have these paste backgrounds that we started earlier. So let me get, these are those mica sprays that came in the box. And that might be kind of pretty on here, right? So we'll let that, and I think I want to add a little bit of the ruby to it also. That one was lapis. I add a little ruby. That should make some purple in here. And we'll set that aside and let it dry and see what that looks like. I might have to mop the edge here a little bit. A good thing to have when you're working with wet medium like this is just plain old Kleenex tissue.
Toilet paper.
Yeah, you know, because this stuff will draw. See how this is working here? It's just drawing that off really easily, and it's not really distorting anything.
It is designed to draw wetness.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, because sometimes if you come in with a paper towel or something heavy, it's just too much. And see how that just wicks right up. And I barely have to touch it. It's going to wick up that excess moisture. And I want to let that mica settle in around that image. So I don't want to do too much See if it'll drip down to the bottom here. Okay, so I'm gonna set that aside and let it dry. Move on to something else. So where were we? We had this one, which was the Dressmaker's pattern, and I need to glue some of this stuff down on here. So let me see how I want to do this. Layers. That's what I want to do, is layers, because we're all about collage today. So I'm just going to get the hot glue out and do it in a fast way. Now, you've seen me use hot glue before, and typically when I use hot glue, I'll take something like the tacky stuff and use with it. So they've got, you know, because hot glue sometimes pops off of stuff. Just saying. So I like to use both when I'm applying in some of these applications. Let's see. Yeah, I think we'll do this.
I decided I needed to add a colorful background to my stamped tissue here because it was just too bleh.
Okay.
That's a technical term.
Technical term, yeah.
But
okay, so I've got those layered up. I think I wanted to use, I don't know, do I want to use that or not? Maybe just a portion. I don't want to destroy all the pattern in the background. Still want some of that coming through. So I'm going to try to sneak it under the edge here. Maybe I can sneak it under the edge. There we go. Okay, so then I'll need to trim that out. Okay, I can tell that I did not turn somebody in the background off today. Because it's singing out at me. Okay. Now, get that one going. Let's work on this one.
right. So I used a stencil. Let me see. It's this one that I was using last week. Still on the desk. You might remember this floating lady from last week. And I drew with pencil using the stencil and cut out a couple little figures this morning when we were waiting in the green room. And I'm going to put those on this card. I've also got this punched out circle from a piece of deli paper that's extra, just extra paint. So I'm going to use that too. This time I think I'm just going to use a glue stick. This is a permanent glue stick from Elmer's. And I'm going to put that on there first, make sure it's centered. And then I'm going to put my figures on there. I don't know if that's centered or not. It seems like it's a little bit off. But yeah. Sometimes instead of stenciling a stencil, you can cut it out. It'll work. I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'll make their little hands touching. Isn't that cute? I have a baby wipe, and when I'm using glue stick, I just press down with a slightly moist baby wipe and then kind of make sure that any edges are cleaned up. Managed to get that water-soluble ink on my lady. Guess I should have used a permanent ink. Obviously, they're going to need some shadows or something.
Something, something.
Something, something.
Let's see. I think I need more color. All right, what did I do with the...
Hi, Gina. Hi, Vicki. People still rolling in.
Yay. Glad to see everybody today.
I think I'll use my Stella pencil.
Let's see. What did I do with those stars? Good heavens. I'm
You said
losing
you
my
had stars this
file.
morning. Probably got lost in the Craft-A-Lanch.
In the Craft-A-Lanch, yes, that's where it is. In the Craft-A-Lanch. Well, there's one. And there's another one. Okay. Get those out of here because I think I want to do I don't know. I want to do this. Guess I will, since that's the way I'm rolling right now. I'm just tearing up my star images. Now, I don't know. I might want to cut those out more. Because, you know, there's not a lot of real estate on an artist trading card. In case you hadn't noticed, there's not a lot of real estate on an artist trading card. So I may just want to cut this down a little bit. Because we don't always want to cover up everything. Yeah. I think that's helping me a little bit just by revealing some more of the background that way.
Where's my white Posca? You know, I can't do
with that.
anything.
Oops.
Had a white Posca. I just have to have it.
And a little more gel medium. Hi, Prana. Hi, Leslie. Let's see. So let's add these stars. And I don't like the placement. Isn't that always the way you just get it down? And it's like, oh, I want to move that. Okay. Clean up my mess.
Leslie says she has only one eye open.
Okay. It's better than no eyes, right?
Get some coffee or tea. Happening.
Okay, so what I was showing you guys was this was the remember I was showing you the spray that I gotten in that box from Ranger, and then I've got these stickle things. Well, what I'd done the other day is I took some of those and I just put it out on a piece of Duralar, because now I can take these. Let me see if I can peel up this star. Yeah, I can still cut it out, you know. Yeah, I don't think I made it thick enough, but I'm trying to get it. Okay, here we go. So have I got, I don't know if I have enough gel medium down there. I put a little gel medium down and stick this down. There we go. There. See, so, you know, even though it's glitter glue, it had dried. This had dried on the Duralar, and then I can peel it up and apply it this way. So all I'm doing is, here's the pad of Duralar, which is just plastic sheeting, clear plastic film. And I had, the other day I'd squirt out some of these to try them out. And then I'm just peeling this up off of the Duralar because it's dry now. And I can just take a little gel medium on my finger. And where do I want this? I think I need both of those to see where I want a placement.
I think it might be time for a new pen.
Whoops. There we go. You can see now I've got this sparkly piece that's been added. And then I can trim out the edges that are hanging over, and I can add I can even find some more of these little sparkly things. I've got some of these in small dots. Got some multi-matte medium here. And I can put these wherever I like them just by doing a peel up and gluing them down.
There. Finally. Ended up having to get out another pin. I tried my Posca pen, my current Posca pen, then I tried this Jelly Roll pen. Everyone loves these things. I think they suck.
Jelly Roll?
I can't get these things to work. It must be my environment.
It might be because you're so dry there.
Yeah. They just never work for me.
Well, I mean, your Poscas dry awfully fast, and that's a thick, wet medium, so yeah.
So this one's done.
Okay, so that's how you do that one.
So I made some of those squiggles the other day using puffy paint. So you can do that too.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
That, for fabric puffy paints.
Mm-hmm.
I made black squiggles and then I peeled them off and glued them to stuff. I'm not sure exactly when this was, but it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I do a lot of, I think I had a whole video on skins and things, but
yeah,
I get you. I'm just going to put some of this watercolor into that star. Give it a little more life. And this is very wet, so I'm going to set that aside now to dry. And I think this definitely needs some color. I've got this watercolor out here. Let's see what this does. I'll add a little round edging here.
I think I'm going to cut this little guy out, but a tip for y'all is if something's really thin and ridiculously hard to cut out like this, which this came from Bayagrab in a package at some point. She says it's from tangerines. I was thinking cheese maybe, but it's very thin, and I spritzed it and tried to get the wrinkles out a little bit, but I'm going to cut this guy out. So I'm going to stick it onto another piece of paper before I cut it out, because this is just too hard to cut out. So I'm going to use my ATC paper that I've had on my desk all month and glue this down to that, and then it'll be so much easier to cut this. Fussy cutting, you know.
Vicki says she gave all her stickles away. Yeah, I gave quite a few away too, but you know, what I did is I ordered that box, and it was a mystery box. It was like $12.99. And I just wanted to see what came in one of those mystery boxes. Well, guess what? I got stickles again. So, you know, most of the glitter stuff I gave away a long time ago because I'm not a real glitter girl. But there was some of this in there, and I thought, well, I'm going to play with it. You know, why not? I got it. I'm going to play with it. And lo and behold, I found an application for it. So, you know, sometimes you just have to get out some of those things that you haven't thought about for a while and have a good play. Like I know I've got a silver metallic pen somewhere. And I'm thinking because there's this because I've made these stars with this silver glitter glue, I should probably add a little of the silver metallic in here now. You know, so you start thinking about one thing prompts another thing, right? Or at least for me it does. Sometimes I don't think about a particular product until I pull something else out, say, oh, what does that do? Let's play with it. And just like this morning, I was playing with those embossing powders because it's kind of like, well, what's that going to do for me? So, gotta have a play. And because these were like deep discount stuff, you know, it's not like I'm losing anything. I'm just playing with product to see what it does. And I like mica. I really do like mica. I like the shimmer. So I think I'm gonna add some of this mica to this one on the edge here. Get a little bit of that going. Get some drips maybe. See if it'll drip behind. Maybe, maybe not, you know. I might actually have to get a brush for this. Because it's not doing exactly what I want it to do.
Barbara says she loves little dots of bling on little cards.
Yeah.
I have to agree. Give me bling.
I'm using this kind of, even though it's got some mica and shimmer in it, I'm using it kind of like an aging factor on here. That's where the drips and the splatters and all of that stuff come in.
Nothing wrong with drips and splatters.
Right. Try and go the other way. Might have to shake that up a little bit more. Seems like it all wanted to settle.
This is some seriously fussy cutting. What was I thinking?
You were thinking that you like that look. So you're going for it. Right?
I've had this label for like forever now. It's from one of Bea Grobe's mystery boxes, mystery envelopes.
Uh-huh.
I'll bet you have one too.
I think I have some laying around here somewhere.
Mm.
Gina might even have a few laying around at her place. Okay, so where else do I want this? A little bit over here. Okay, we'll let that dry a bit. Maybe I'll put a little bit
Finally.
in here. As long as I've got it out.
Dun, 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 dun.
And why not a little bit on
He needs a background.
this one too.
Isn't he cute? Took forever to cut it out.
Come on.
I need some
Cooperate
sort
with me.
of background for this guy, though. I think I'm going to start with some green.
A little water.
Green napkin snack here.
It's raining. Okay. Where were we?
Where were you? I don't know.
I was thinking about. Oh, let's see how this one's doing, if it's dry yet. Not quite.
It's going to need a mount. That looks like a pretty good mountain right there. Oh, look at that. I think it's burnt. Doesn't smell burnt. Might be coffee.
Okay. That gesso, I think, is dry. But I got a puddle on my desk.
All right.
Did you say coffee? Oh, okay. All right. Must be coffee break time. Hello. Hi, all you folks. Is it time for a sip of coffee?
For some people, it's always a time to sip of coffee. I have lime and mint water.
Ah, yeah. Gina says she has loads of mystery things, lots of places and people. Paper clips, yeah, great way to use them. Absolutely. I've been watching Gina making some paper clips this month. If you guys haven't seen them, check them out. Becky said something about old and dry. No, Barb did. Wait a minute. Gotta scroll back here. I got so much stuff, losing stuff to age and non-use, so I'm trying hard to use it up. Yeah, and you know, Becky, that's where some of those, like the puffy paints and the stickles and that kind of stuff, if you squirt it out on something like the Durlar, then you can preserve it, because, you know, once it dries, you can always come back and glue it down like we're doing here. So that's my tip of the day, right? Is let's at least get the stuff out of the tube and drying so that we can do something with it. I'm really not liking this at all. Really not. So I'm wondering if I should just take it back with some more gesso. Why not? So much for, I mean, it's okay for the highlighting, but I don't like what it's done in the background and on the flowers itself. So I'm going to get some of that relief going back in here. I don't like that up there. It's too dark. So I'll thin that out.
Always gesso.
Yep, that's right. If you don't like it, grab the gesso. And that's what I'm doing, is I'm grabbing the gesso, because I like this for my surface a lot better than what I saw there initially. Okay. I'm going to pat it on my finger.
Becky says she would rub copper on it. I am not opposed to that idea.
Yeah.
Always with the copper.
I'm going to age this card a little bit with my gesso. And I think this one probably needs a little bit of aging also. So I'm just going to hit the edges here.
This paper was coffee paper. Not maybe it was burnt, but it just has a lot of coffee on it because I can smell it as I'm heating it up. When I first picked it up, I smelled it and it didn't smell like coffee.
Yeah.
But now that I've glued it down and I'm drying it, I can smell the coffee coming off it. So I think it was a piece of old coffee dyed paper someone sent me.
Nice.
It smells good. It smells
Yeah.
really great now. Almost like coffee and chocolate.
Oh, how can you go wrong with that?
Oh, it smells really good.
Right?
Now I want a mocha.
Just adding a few. Now that the water portion of this has dried, I'm just adding a few more shades into my background and getting a little bit of grassy surface for my can to sit on. And while I'm at it, I've got this black watercolor over here that's left over. Let me see if I can do this without making a terrible mess. I just want a few little sprinklings here. Yeah, that's good. There. Try and give you guys a close-up of what that looks like. See if you can see the little, oh, there's a little bit of, oh, for Pete's sake. There's a little string of glue that's going to drive me bonkers. Right there. There. Yeah. Okay. There we go. All right. String glue gone. And I'll get some photos up so that you can see those dots better. And then this is really wet. I need to dry that and I need to mount it on a card. So let me get a card and get that glued down. Oh, speaking of glued down, let me show you this. I don't know if you guys have seen this product or not. This is from, who did I say did this? Graphics. Graphics. Those same people that did that paper that is the white opaque paper that I've been using for all of my, you guys, oh my goodness, I'm throwing everything on the floor today. You guys have seen those ATCs that I was doing with the alcohol inks. That was on this white opaque graphics paper, and it's a lot cheaper than Yupo. You might want to give it a try. But this is what's called Artist Tack. And what it is an adhesive that comes on a carrier sheet. So you can peel it back, and one side is going to have the sticky, and this is just the like release sheet. So if I'm going to do something like this and I want to just, you know, put some adhesive down on there, this is really wet. Probably not a good choice to do this with, but it's like that dot adhesive, and I can just pick up what I need on that piece. And you've got a dry adhesive on there. Pull that off. Don't know how this is going to work. Oh, yeah. My paper is so wet it's tearing. Which adds to the antique, right? Always in a live show you do this, right? Always on the live show. All right, so, and with wet paper. All right, so what it does is it pulls up the dot adhesive on there. And then I can lay that down and have a dry adhesive. Just like that. So I thought that was a pretty cool product. And as long as I was ordering the other stuff, I thought I'd get some of that. And I want a brown. Now that I've knocked all my stuff off, I'm really going to have a mess to clean up here today. I'm going to take one of these little... Now, you've seen these at the craft shows. They're very expensive. You can get these on Amazon. These are those makeup brushes. I think I paid about $8 for these. So it doesn't have to be expensive.
I think I paid them for, I paid $6. But that was before they got popular.
I'm just going to use that to edge this.
Hello, Arabella. That's someone new. We haven't had an Arabella before.
Hi, Arabella. So, you know, I'm just adding some color in to deepen that edging, like so. And I want a little bit more over there. Okay, so see that what that did, right? Going to kind of do the same sort of thing on this one. Where I don't have anything else on the edging here.
Ooh, that's a really big splat.
And I think I'm going to try to get a little bit on this edge up here too. There we go. Okay, so there's that. All right. So we've got those going on. Now, where are we? We need to do something with this. So let me pull out some of those watercolors. I've got this yellow out here on my palette, so let's use some of this. Oh,
Let's see.
Clean your brush better.
53.
Right.
I didn't even get hardly anything done. Wow. I only got 3 cards done.
Oh, are we at that point already?
It is 53, so we've got like 7 minutes.
Okay. Well, let me see if I can put some color into this.
I might get one more quick one done.
Yeah.
Just a real quick one. I got this interesting piece of paper. And I have an interesting card. This one was one of those marble dipped ones. And then yesterday I was using a stencil with dark paint, and I just flipped the stencil over and pressed it down onto this card. And I think it made a really cool, sort of an interesting pattern on the back.
Uh-huh.
So I think I'm going to use it. Stencil printing, I guess you'd call that. So let's do some abstract or something here. Some of the scraps I have here. This is a drawing. I was trying to explain to my kid what kind of thing I wanted to build, and to hold my camera. So it's like a really basic drawing, but when you tear something like that, it makes a very interesting piece of collage. It's completely random. Going from a crappy drawing to something more interesting. Something that was on my desk, you know.
Yeah. Those bits and pieces on your desk do become interesting.
They're always there. And I didn't even get into like all these bins that I have. I mean, really, how did the time go so fast?
Well, because we were having a good time just playing, you know?
I have some leftover letters. I have a die cut thing that it makes like the whole alphabet at once in really tiny little letters and numbers.
I've got a punch that does that. That's kind of cool.
So you can just use those, the ones that didn't make whatever you were going to make, and make them into an interesting pattern. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, got a lot of glue on there. Gooey glue. Huh, my glue stick is like giving up its life here.
Oh, poor thing. All right,
It's about done for.
That one, and just go for what I've got out here. Instead of trying to make more, right?
You finished up the ones you got.
Go with what we got here. Yeah.
This is a pretty sticky mess over here. Kind of like that die cut. One of these days, I have this big plan. I'm just going to get out all my die cut thingies that I have in my collection, and I'm just going to sit down and spend like, I don't know, a few hours just cutting all kinds of scrap papers into little die cut shapes.
I hear you. I've had that same plan for a couple of years now. I think we just need to plan an afternoon.
Yep. And then just put them in like, let's sort them into little bins so that I can find them again.
Or do you guys just want to do a show of us cutting dice?
Oh, I think they'd be too bored.
They would be bored to tears, wouldn't they?
But we could just do it as a hangout, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because I have all those stupid dies, but I never use them because I don't want to get them out and cut. I don't know how many I have. I mean, it's not a whole lot, but.
Oh, I have way more than is reasonable. Just
I like these little like botanical type ones that have small lines like this, you know, like this one that I just glued onto this card. But And I know I have a couple sets of those types. And I would just like to cut them out of random papers that I have everywhere. Just sit down and do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
I think we just hit the bewitching hour. I guess I'm done.
So I'm using this little bitty brush out of that makeup brush set. And I'm just, you know, applying some of this, what is this stuff called? I never remember it. It's called Gilding Polish from Creative Expressions. Gilding Polish. So I'm gilding my flowers here. I really need to grab some purple and put in here. I think these look like cone flowers to me, which calls for some purple and yellow in here too. But these little brushes work pretty good for getting in those small areas, and you can just clean them, you know, clean them off on your tissue. Let me grab a purple. Because we need more colors, right? We need more colors.
We should show what we've got and get out of here.
Should we? You guys ready to go? They're probably ready to go make some of their own cards, right?
So what have you got? Spread them out. Well, I've got 4.
Oh, I'm making a mess now.
Oh, okay. Here's the ones I did today. I've got a cityscape. I've got a couple. I've got this tangerine night. And I've got this abstract one I just did in like 5 minutes, which shows how fast you can do something like that.
Yeah.
You can go real slow or you can go real fast.
Well, and I would say mine are not complete, but you know, for an hour and a half, they're as good as they're going to get. I've got this star one. I think I still want to add some silver something to. I've got this little bird. This needs some words or something. See, they're not complete yet. There are no words, nothing on there. This one, at least, seems the most complete. It says Tweedledee. It's got my little can of flowers and butterfly. And then this one was the one with the dressmaking stuff on it. And I like their attire here. I like their coat and their hat and everything. And then this one was the last one I was working on, which was, what was that stuff? The dimensional paste with the sparkly stuff. So that's about it.
Yeah, I think we're done. Thanks everyone for coming. Please remember to give us a thumbs up or leave a comment or question below so that more people can find us. And for new people, we're really excited to see you.
Yes, we are. Thanks for joining us.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.